Anthropic just won a major federal ruling in the legal field of copyright and fair use. And what do the AI really get to train on? What is considered ethical and legal for them to utilize? Unfortunately, for a lot of artists and a lot of freelancers out there, a federal judge has in fact decided that it's perfectly fine for the artificial intelligence to scrape damn near everything. If the aristocracy of art and intellectualism and all that is perceived as artsy and fartsy was to have a headquarters, it would in fact most likely be San Francisco. And unfortunately, for those very same artsy-fartsy individuals, the federal judge proceeding over this ruling, with Anthropic being the main defendant for artificial intelligence and the fair usage of it scraping intellectual properties for its own training and values, was deemed appropriate and viable and protected under the Fair Use Acts straight from San Francisco. The very headquarters, the very capital of it all, has essentially completely thrown the artist and the freelance writer to the side, has completely destroyed human creativity, all for the sake of feeding the ever-consuming machine. The main proponent in favor of all of this ruling was in fact actually the fact that Anthropic was able to successfully argue and demonstrate in court that the use of artificial intelligence scraping this data and utilizing it for its own training doesn't implicitly allow it to just copy and fax it out to millions and billions of people, unaccredited, uncircumcised, mass distributed for all to steal and do with as they will. In fact, the black box methodology of AI and the way that it processes and renders information in real time almost completely obfuscates and disallows the ability for one to just, hey, ChatGPT, give me the works of Shakespeare. Because more often than not, the AI is more inclined to hallucinate and completely destroy that work than it is to masterfully reprint it one for one. Now, on top of this demonstration of obvious incapability of printing and copying, it was also argued that because, yet again, of that same methodology, that this actually encourages and empowers human creativity. It doesn't take away from it in any sort of way. Now, whether or not you have feelings towards that, that's long past due for discussion. The simple reality is that the court ended up agreeing with Anthropic, and that they realized through the defense of fair use and through the enablement of a technology like this, more good ultimately will come out than any potential harm. But there's still a question that remains unanswered. Where do human artists go from here? Where do human creatives express their potential now? Is the internet completely forfeit? Is everything that we ever post online subject to artificial intelligence training? The discussion obviously lies within the individual. Do you still post online? Do you still share things across the interwebs? Or are you more keen to look at things with a skeptical eye? Are you going to be more meticulous in your postings? Are you going to consider the messages and the expressions that you outwardly convey? Because whether you like it or not, Everything's posted on the internet nowadays. And once it's on the internet, it's no longer yours. And to make matters even worse, even if you didn't want it posted on the internet, it's getting posted on the internet anyways. Especially when you're out in a public place. Even if I wasn't to post this video myself. But if somebody sitting in this car next to me was to record me and post it of their own volition, they're completely within their right and capability to do so. So, yet again, we're faced with another moral dilemma. Do you act like a hermit, move to a deep dank cave and live in the shadows, free from the prying eyes of other pieces and parts of humanity, only to hopefully retain the true originality of your creative expression? Or do you adapt? Do you become something more? And do you learn to empower yourself with these new evolutionary changes that are taking place externally around you? That is the question.